Hey teams, this is Matt Sekelic. I am the VP of Sales. I'm sure you know me or you have met me at some point by now. But I'm up here today in Arbor Ridge in Athens, Georgia with Katie and April, who are the leasing agent and the manager. They actually produced one of the best videos that we've got in the Acre portfolio for the virtual tours. And what we want to do right now, since the virtual tours are quickly becoming our primary means of getting word out about our property to potential residents, prospects, people that we want to try to bring into the property to take a real tour at some point, or at least lease an apartment from us, we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make and produce and then post online the best possible video that we can. So what we've done is put together a list of do's, don'ts, tips, tricks, and that's going to be sent out later on today and along with this video. And we're going to talk about some of the things that we want to always make sure we're doing, some of the things that we want to stay away from, and why we want to do them and why we want to stay away from them. So if you will give me a few minutes of your time and follow me, we're going to talk about some of this stuff. I want to talk a little bit about how you approach doing the virtual tour as you walk into an apartment. So when you walk in, the first thing that you're going to walk into, whichever room that is, most of the time it's your big, the largest living space in the apartment. You want to walk in, you want to draw attention to how big it feels and how big it is. Katie, do your thing.
Welcome to your beautiful, spacious living room.
Hand gestures.
Wow.
Body movement, the motions that you take, humor, just the way you say things can give a feeling that a room is bigger than it is, or actually give justice to how big it actually is. Because on video, you can't really tell how big or how small a lot of things are. Using adjectives like big, spacious is a really good one for a room. Enormous, extra large, things like that can make people feel like a room is really big and actually put a little bit of emotion into what you're doing. So as you come in, I want you to think about that. We're going to have Katie demo it here in a second, but think about making those changes in the video that you do as you reshoot a video to get the most out of showing that first entryway, because that's the impression that's going to determine whether this person stays interested in your video and whether you keep their attention throughout or whether they turn you off after that first room. Thanks.
Welcome to your beautiful, spacious living room. I mean, you can just visualize it right now. Here's your entertainment center, your couch. You have so much room in here to put all the things that you absolutely need.
A couple of things happened there that I want to draw attention to. When Katie came in here, she had the audience member, the person that the video was intended for, visualize certain things. She actually made them think about their entertainment center or their furniture. And you want to do that because you want to have people start to visualize, because when they start to see their stuff in it, think about any big thing you've ever bought, or if you've ever bought a house or an apartment or a car or whatever, you always visualize and you always use your imagination to put either yourself or your stuff in that thing you're getting ready to purchase, whether it's a living space or whether it's a car or anything along those lines. So you want to do the same thing for your audience that's watching this video. Second big thing that happened, and probably one of the big important ones that we missed in a lot of our videos, is the panning. So April stood back in the very far corner of the room and took her camera and panned the entire room to show and give justice really to the space that this room provides and to show everything that's in it. And we don't do that in a lot of cases, or we didn't do that in a lot of our videos before, and I want to make sure that we do that in these coming videos. Talk about the kitchen now. So the kitchen is a little bit different than the living room. So the living room is this big, open, expansive space that you want to draw attention to how big it is and how spacious it is and how easily you could fit all your furniture in here if you look around and imagine filling this living room with all of your stuff, right? Well, the kitchen's different. The kitchen has a lot of other things that we want to draw attention to. Obviously, it's not this big, wide open area, so you don't want to use things like enormous and giant and spacious, unless it is. Like, we do have apartments at some properties that are really big kitchens, and if it is, then by all means, use words like that. But what the kitchen has that those other rooms don't have is a lot of upgraded features. So most of our apartments and most of our properties have been renovated and upgraded. And a lot of times we either put really nice sprayed on or countertops in there, or we put granite in there. So I love granite countertops personally. So if I was going to come in and I was going to show this, I would want to draw attention to it. And I would want to what I want you to do is, while I'm talking about this, I want you to watch what April does with the camera. She's really good at it instinctively, so I want to point out what she's going to do as I come in. I want to show you, and I want to say something along the lines of, one of my favorite features of this kitchen, this beautiful kitchen, is the brand new granite countertops that were put in. You're going to be the first person to ever use them, with a brand new sink and a gooseneck fixture in the sink. We've also got brand new stainless steel appliances, newly redone cabinets, brand new refrigerator, and one of the best things is the LED lighting that is modern and brand new. So notice that every time I talked about something and I pointed at it or touched it, which you should always do, is either point or touch, that April automatically panned the camera to what I was talking about, because that draws attention to those special features that you want to make sure that you are getting across to your audience, to that person that's going to be watching the video, because it's so important that you convey and you focus, you convey how new and how awesome something is, and how it is, you really just draw and focus on it. Because look, these are the things people are buying or potentially going to lease an apartment from us based off this video that you're producing. And you want to make sure that you're focusing on all the best features that you can. And a lot of times it's the renovation, it's the new things that we've done to the apartment. Last thing I want to cover. Well, we're going to do a closing here in a minute, but while I'm standing here in the kitchen, I want to point out one thing. The kitchen is the same as the bathroom in terms of the way you're going to present it. It's not a great big open space. It's got brand new, a lot of times if it's been renovated, it's got brand new fixtures, brand new countertops, brand new, redone shower and tub and all that stuff. So you want to point out those things. And again, you want to point, you want to touch, you want to make sure that the camera is focusing on them and drawing attention to them. The living room, when we were in here, if you follow me real quick, and I'm going to walk right past the camera, but as you walk into the living room, this is going to be the same as a bedroom. So when you come into a bedroom, you're going to want to make sure that you do the bedroom the same way that you did the living room. You're going to want to draw attention to how big and how open the space is, and how easily it could fit your furniture. If a king bed would be cramped, let's not say it could hold a king bed very easily. But draw attention to how big it is. Make them feel like it is this wide open space. When you show closets and when you show linen closets, make sure that we don't say things like small linen closet, or the closet may not be really deep. Don't say that. If you're going to say the closet may not be deep, but it's really wide, just say the closet's really wide. This bedroom is so awesome because it's got this extra wide closet that runs almost wall to wall. Something like that is a lot better than saying it may not be deep, but it does run wide. So we want to focus only on the positive stuff, not saying anything that can take away or create possibly a negative feeling about any of the features of the apartment. So at this point, we're going to be done inside the apartment. I'm going to leave you all to do the bathrooms and to do the bedrooms the same way we just did the kitchen and the living room. Now that we've seen the whole apartment being done and shown, we've talked about the different ways to show the apartment and all the different rooms in the apartment and things to say and not to say. Two more things I want to mention. One is the intro. You've got to have an introduction. The introduction, in my opinion, should be simple, concise, to the point. Let them know who you are. Be wearing your name tag. Be ready to take a tour just like that person was showing up in person, because you want them to almost feel like you are taking them on a tour. So quick intro. You can do it inside at your desk if you have a really nice reception area inside, or you can come outside and you can do an introduction by your main sign for the property. Whichever one looks best, or whichever one you have available, go for it.
Hi, welcome to Arbor Ridge. I'm Katie. I'm excited to take you on a tour. Come on, let's go.
Closing is probably the most, no, I don't want to say the most. It is probably one of the most important parts of the whole tour, because the closing is your call to action. That is the point at which you're going to ask for something from that person. You want them to make a decision, and you want to make it in a statement to propel that person to hopefully make a commitment to lease an apartment from us. You need to make sure that you come back and reiterate some of the most important features and the biggest features. I want you to say things like, when you're ready to make this your new home, or knowing this could be your new home. make sure that you say things that make them paint a picture of them living there. And then you're going to make a statement about coming in here or calling today to fill out the application or getting online to fill out the application. Obviously, they're not in front of you, so you're not going to ask for money right away. You're not going to be asking somebody specifically, are you ready to fill out an application? But you're making statements that could propel them to want to pick up the phone right away, to get online right away and send you an email. So essentially you want to call to action. You want to say, hey, what I need you to do right now to make this your new home is pick up that phone and give me a call today. Something along those lines. Anything you want to say, but ask them to give you a call immediately. And that's, hey guys, last thing I have in this video, I wanted to make sure I give credit to April, who is by far probably the best videographer we've had this entire time.
Hey guys, I'm April at Arbor Ridge in Athens. If you have any questions, please let me know. Here's my phone number and here's my email address. I'd be happy to help you with your video.